The Totally Beginner Super Quick Game Design Manual of Totally Awesome Success.
If you've ever wanted to make your own video or tabletop games but you have no idea what you're doing, congratulations, you're exactly where everyone in the games industry that ever is or was started. I've created this guide for people like you to give you a leg up. Thank me later. When trying to become a great game designer like those before us, it's important that we study their work. So the first thing you must do to become a designer is simple: play games. Play games that stretch across all mediums and genres. A medium refers to a material that is used to create a work of art. So in this context, we could be meaning anything from card games, tabletop games, console games, mobile games, you name it. This is different from a genre. A genre is a category of artistic composition characterized by similarities in form, style, or subject matter. In our context, we could have a genre representing games about role-playing, which would be distinct from a genre representing games about solving puzzles. Even if you're not a fan of a particular genre or medium, try understanding what about those genres and mediums people like so much. What motivates people to play those kind of games? How do those stand out from their peers? Once you can answer those questions with confidence, you have a good grasp of what makes a game good or, well, what makes it not so good. Alright, well, we're playing games, but that doesn't quite answer how they're built. The building blocks of any game are the mechanics. A mechanic describes a particular component of a game to the level of data and algorithms. We're going to use an example here. How about Mario? Alright, cool. There he is, got his little hat. Cool. So, in Mario games, the objective is always to the right. But look, there's a thing in the way, and we can't walk past it, so maybe there's a way we could... there you go. Yeah, jumping. Jumping in Mario is a mechanic. It's one small component that is clearly defined to the player as part of Mario's skill set. Something that can be used to get past obstacles. But jumping doesn't just get us past walls. Oh no. Jumping kills Goombas. And what's a Goomba? Well, it's this cute little mushroom guy, and he's going to walk to the left and brutally murder us. His movement patterns are really thwarting our plans to go right. But he has a weakness. We can jump on his head and get rid of him. The way you control Mario, the nice floaty jump, and the Goombas and the way that we deal with them all come together to form the dynamics of a Mario game. Now, looking past the nuts and bolts, or should I say mushrooms and pipes? Why would anyone play Mario? What do they get out of it? Aesthetics are the desirable emotional responses evoked in the player when they interact with the game's system. Mario is defined in many by a feeling of adventure and discovery. What weird turtle, mushroom, dragon monster is coming next? It also makes for a nice challenge. These feelings can be described as Mario's core gameplay aesthetics. There is actually a taxonomy of sorts, which designers use to organize games by the reasons people play them. There are 8 core gameplay aesthetics as follows. Cool, so a game can fit in one of many of these categories, but generally will fit in somewhere. Mario, like we mentioned earlier, is a game defined by discovery and challenge. But you can even say that the game is about submission, and I would agree. I would not, however, say that Mario is a game about fellowship. I mean, come on, let's be honest. The whole princess in another castle thing, it's getting real old, Toad. So given the building blocks of a game, how do we put them together? You see, gamers experience a game starting with how it makes them feel. As they play, they start to understand the underlying systems behind those feelings, aka the dynamics. Next, they understand the mechanics at the atomic level and how those mechanics affect the dynamic systems. As a designer, though, we're going to look at this completely backwards, starting with the mechanics, and we'll create our game. As we keep building these mechanics up, we're going to interact in real time with our player inputs and other mechanics, thus forming the dynamics. Once we reach a stage in which we're playing our game, we have to work on shifting around the mechanics to affect how our game feels to the player, in an attempt to get the game feeling just right. There's a big question arising there, though. How do we know what feels right? After all, we're totally biased because, as you can see, we're looking at our game backwards. We need fresh eyes. Somebody can come in and play our game without already knowing the mechanics and tell us how it feels. It could be a friend, it could be your mom, it could be a dog, anyone. Just sit them down, ask them to play, and watch. Don't speak until they're done. You don't want to spoil their fresh little lives with your down and dirty knowledge of the mechanics. Ask them questions after the fact, and use their input with your own best judgment to fix your game. Do this again and again. Even when you think it's great, it probably sucks a whole lot of rotten eggs somewhere and the player is just waiting to tell you all about it. Test, fix, test, fix. Start early, as soon as you have dynamics of your game shaping up. Go find that video game playing doc. Remember, the Sistine Chapel wasn't painted in a day, and it didn't have people trying to break it by jumping into the same wall 20 times. Well, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much for joining me and taking your first step towards building better games. Also, tell your dog I said hi.